Now it's the fuel boiling off. You can watch it all on the website, you know. The ignition sequence, final phase of the automatic sequence, here's what to watch for. At -5 seconds, those arms, the yellow arms, will swing back. We have to have that to have liftoff. Before that, at -12 seconds, the command is given to open the water deluge. 1,500 cubic meters of water will come pouring in on the pad to deaden the thermal shocks and noise that could damage the satellites at liftoff. I don't know if you're going to see that, but you might want to look out for it. Then the sequence begins with the arms swinging back. At -3 seconds, we move into flight mode. And at 0, the DDO calls out allumage or ignition, and the engines light up.
À tous de DDO, attention pour le décompte final. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, top. Allumage Vulcain. Allumage EAP, décollage.
Everything on board is nominal as normal, says the DDO. At 18:51 local time, and right on time, Ariane began her mission. We're having better visibility than I thought we did. The weather's been clear all week, but we had a storm last night and cloudy today. But you can see Ariane rising up into the night sky over French Guiana. Fine shots by our cameraman, Olivier Clary, who's out on the balcony here. We have 7 cameras here, 5 in Jupiter, 2 on the site, always giving us fine shots. 775 tons of fuel are burning now at liftoff as Ariane is leaving the ground, burning 5 tons of fuel per second, 2.5 tons in each booster, and the core stage burning another 300 kilograms per second. That's roughly equivalent to a dozen Airbuses. She's now following the program in the onboard computer, which gives all the orders, including the stage separations, which we will soon begin to see. We're in the first of 4 flight 5. DDO says everything's fine. We're in the first of 4 flight phases. The first 3 are powered. The last is not. We'll describe each in turn and in detail so that you can follow Ariane as she heads across the Atlantic in about 20 minutes, and where she will separate the satellites once she has sailed over Africa. Right now, we're in the first flight phase. That's the single core stage engine, and the 2 boosters are burning. The boosters will burn their 240 tons, just over 2 minutes each. There's another about 15 seconds left in that burn, and they're the first to be extinguished. You'll hear the DDO call out that milestone as well.
Les paramètres bord sont normaux.
Everything is normal, says the DDO. We should be approaching
Séparation des EAP.
right on time. Separation of the boosters. This is give you an idea what it looks like. There's 2 of them. There's one that out of camera range on the left. They fall 500 kilometers from shore in a protected area. In a protected area, not to worry, because before each launch, civil security teams come in and evacuate all areas lying under Ariane's flight path. The camera, by the way, is not on board tonight. It's from a launch of about 4 years ago, but the situation is the same. The systems are the same. Next up is the fairing jettison, coming in about 10 seconds. Take a look on the left of the screen. On the upper left, you have a cursor riding up the curve. Yeah, I don't know if you can read that, sepcoif, that's separation of the fairing. That should come in about 2 seconds. Those are 2 trajectories. One is optimal. There's separation of the fairing. Again, right on time. There are actually 2 halves. One is out of camera range on the right. That's the fairing, which is the protective structure. We drop the fairing now because it's just more dead weight, a couple of tons. Its job is to protect the passengers in the Earth's atmosphere from friction and vibrations. And we're out of the atmosphere once we get over 100 kilometers roughly, so we don't need it. Fairing is built by Ruag Aerospace, stands 17 meters tall. And the way it's separated, it's interesting. There are 2 pyrotechnical cords, one vertical and one horizontal, which drops the fairing. We're now in the second flight phase. Remember the first flight phase, 2 boosters and 1 core stage. Now just 1 single engine burning. Back with more of the broadcast, but for right now, the latest news from Ariane Space.